Welcome to the buymeacoffee.com/James Poartistry, the coffee tips page that supports my James Poartistry creative productions and work. See also jamespoartistry.online. This is the life for the ones over 80 by James Lynch. You will find this in my buymeacoffee.com/James Poe Artistry. It may be on support only. It may not. I'm not sure yet. But all the same, let me share this with you because, of course, you heard me mention before that even though I'm not in that age bracket, I just share certain thoughts at times that would have come about through certain types of environments, special environments, have you. And just certain topics that you only, it seems, would get from persons who even lived during a certain time period. And in this case, I'm talking about the farming era. Yes, there are still some family-owned farms. Um, to my understanding and to some of my research, I've seen even the farms, though, many of them now, the land has been even bought out by major, uh, um, entrepreneurs or corporate men, etc. I mean, even technical men, you see, Silicon Valley type men have purchased farms. Isn't that interesting? And I mean, huge amounts of land as well that they've purchased. Uh, but this is what I want to talk about as far as then the regular simple farmer that you can think about from the Western days all the way down to, man, I would say at least uh, the 80s and then the 90s, but now we got the 2000s, and it just doesn't always seem the same because I told you a lot of the farms or farmland is really on a mega level, you see, to feed the country, feed the world. But like I said, for the simple farmer, this is just what I want to share. You may wonder, well, oh, James, what do you have a farm or what have you? No, I don't have a farm uh, yet. I do have just a little experience with the farm. And guess what? More in the food area. Well, no, it's more than that. But I want to focus on the food area to share this with you because this does have to do with the real life, enjoy being able to enjoy life. In order to maintain a farm, many farmers, yes, they have gotten up early in the morning. You can be sure they were always up before 6. You see what I'm saying? But the majority of the time, you can find, depending on what they had to do, they would be up before 5 and even 4 o'clock. You see, it sounds almost like, in this case, some defense agencies and structures as well. And the thing about it is, many of them, back in the day, would even have a huge breakfast that could really last them for really another 8 hours if it had to. You see, um, steak, eggs, ham. I mean, bacon, all sorts of stuff. Uh, but what I want to really talk about is, in order to stay in that type of lifestyle, they did a lot of manual labor, hard labor, if you will, and also they needed to be able to appreciate even their own company. You see what I'm saying? Their own company. And they could really get a lot done throughout the day, meditate, uh, uh, tilling the land, etc. And so, with that being said, you get a lot of what I would call God time. while you're doing all those things, and appreciation for God time, and it helps you. And you will find that even as you're just tilling the land at times or sitting back when, the cool air of the late afternoon starts to come in, that there's a sense of feeling and peace even beyond that feeling of peace while you were even working. It's like that breeze that will come over you in the late afternoon, and maybe you've already gotten some strawberry lemonade or some tea or something else, all the same. I mentioned cigars for some, you know, that breeze that will come over you, especially in the summer months. Oh my goodness. It's almost like God Himself, you feel, is talking to you, cooling you off, etc. And with that, there is a joy, an immense joy and contentment that comes over your soul. I told you, even beyond the hard work you were doing throughout the day. It's a feeling like no other. You just have to experience it. And see, it makes me think about even in the book of Philippians, the letter of Philippians, Paul talked about when you think about good things, virtuous things, praiseworthy things, etc., that he said there's a peace of God that also will come over persons that, sometimes it wouldn't even be understood or what have you. Now, I shared this account with you to let you know, see, sometimes people will look at the world today and everything that's going on. And I heard the word even recently where some persons feel like, well, really, what is the point to it all? Because if you can look, because if you look at it through some of the, upheavals in the world, it really does, it doesn't give you any confidence, so to speak, in the future or even today. Nothing but a feeling of concrete this, concrete that. Well, I'm here to tell you that really all of us have that still in our genes, if you will, where you can be sure every single one of us be able to grow something. Now, even in my days without being on the farm or when I've just had opportunities, there were only really about four main things that I would just grow as a side, just as a supplemental type of garden, if you will. And, and if you want to make a crack about watermelon, yeah, I had watermelon. You got a problem with it? No? But no, but the whole point is, and then some greens, then some greens, and then also, some tomatoes. And, if you pick tomatoes or what have you, you want to make sure, and watermelon, you want to make sure you really, got the water, to actually grow those types of vegetables, But I just want to tell you this because in the few times that I was even able to do that, you see what I'm saying? Not being on a major farm, but just, in my own abode or what have you, area, there was a peace and a contentment that still reflected me back to those days where I was still able to see, what a larger farm, you see what I'm saying, was all about, you see? And so I'm sharing this with you. Here's why. Joy is still in the world. Joy will be in the future. And there are so many activities that
You may be an extroverted person, and that is wonderful. You see what I'm saying? You'll be able to enjoy yourself. And then you still have a wide range of, you see, feelings and communication skills. And I don't know why I said skills, but once again, you got people that are just great speakers, and then you just have some persons that they really don't speak that much or what have you. So there's a wide range in between that, between extroverts and introverts. But I'm mentioning to let you know that still God has a way, even today, helping each and every one of us feel his love and his joy. You see what I'm saying? And oftentimes it does take that type of meditation, if you will, that alone time or God time, if you will, in order to get that total appreciation and connection. You see, as one person may notice that, okay, if you're always talking to everybody, you see what I'm saying, the extrovert or what have you, then when do you have time to really just talk to God, you see? And that's just, observation. It's not jumping on anybody. I'm just here to tell you today that there are activities that really goes to show that by engaging in some of these other activities, you see, and I mentioned farming, which I'm sure all of us will really learn on a on a greater level, because I told you all I could do is just remember the spacing between, the items that you want to plant or what have you, maybe 3 or 4, and that's just because of me living in major areas and stuff like that. But my whole point is the foundation and the principle of being able to grow your crops. You learn just how to do really 3 or 4 of them, and I guarantee you, you'll start catching on just like that, and you will experience joy by seeing them grow. You see what I'm saying? You'll also experience joy from that nice hard day's work, and your meditations and stuff. So, I granted, I know many of you already then just have your garden, that people get a joy out of flowers and things of that nature. When I've noticed men just have a tendency to get even more joy from some of those heavier weights, if you will. The watermelon is. Look at me. I'm still trying to justify that it's watermelon. Otherwise, I don't want people to say, "Oh, well, you know what skin color he is." I know some of you said that. But I'm just telling you because of the weight factor. That's why men probably want to plant watermelon, and anyway, this was just my thought I wanted to share with you ones today who still have had the experience, and maybe some of you still do, where you probably were planting all sorts of fruits and vegetables by the way that you even grew up. And I'm sure you can even derive immense joy thinking about those times. You see what I'm saying? Thinking about those times, and just know, happy days are here again. Yeah, or they will come again. Even you see, even if you're not engaging in growing, uh, you know, fruits and vegetables or not, but you will again in the future. And with watermelon. Take care.